Welcome to another episode of Cooperstown 101. Tonight we have Aaron and Matt, who have been frequent guests on the channel as of late, but they have pretty much cornered the market for this player in this class. So we're going to focus on the class of 1942. Which was one player that went in is Mr. Rogers Hornsby. For those of you unfamiliar with Rogers Hornsby, he is pretty much a B-tier Hall of Famer from the era. Not quite Cobb, Ruth, Gehrig level, but not far behind. Born in Winters, Texas on April 27th, 1896, which was literally yesterday as of the recording, or his birthday was yesterday as of the recording of this video. He was introduced to baseball very early on. He began playing with semi-pro teams by the age of 15. He debuted in the majors on September 10th, 1915 with the St. Louis Cardinals under Hall of Fame manager Miller Huggins. He received, later in his career, not long after that actually, he received a draft deferment for World War I, which kept the prime of his career intact. He was the main provider for his family, and he's mostly known for his time with the Cardinals, although due to his personality and gambling issues, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and spent most of his career bouncing around from team to team on the latter half. He was traded to the New York Giants in 1927. Then traded to the Boston Braves the following year, 1928. He ended up with the Cubs. He was traded to the Cubs in 1929 due to financial issues for the Boston Braves. In 1930, he officially replaced Hall of Fame manager Joe McCarthy as manager of the Cubs in late 1930, and then Bill Veeck Sr. Ended up not liking Hornsby too much, ended up firing him after the 1932 season and released him as a player. He was then picked up again by the St. Louis Cardinals in 1933 before being released later in the season due to health concerns, and he battled some health issues throughout his career. And then he ended up with the St. Louis Browns, who claimed him in 1933. He played there until the end of his Major League playing career in 1937 and was released due to issues with the owner. Shocker. Post-career, he became a minor league manager, but he also spent time, I believe, in the Mexican League. And then for as great as a player he was, his managerial record was quite awful. He was 701 and 812 as a manager, good for a .463 winning percentage, and then he unfortunately passed away on January 5th, 1963 due to a heart attack. His personal life was precarious, to say the least. He was married multiple times to different women. He had a son with his first wife who ended up passing away in, I believe, a plane crash later in life, and then he had another child with another woman later, who never made it to the majors but did make it into the minors. So that is a general overview of Rogers Hornsby's career. Down below, you will see scrolling some cards of Rogers Hornsby. These belong to the fine gentleman on the screen with me. I'm going to turn it over to Aaron for a bit more of a deep dive.
So I'm going to deep dive, and I'm going to convince you that he is as inner circle as it gets. He is as elite and Ruth Gehrig discussion worthy as possible. So I think he is far and away the best second baseman, which is not easy to say because Nap Lajoie and Eddie Collins are pretty legit competition at second base, not to mention Jackie Robinson. But I think Hornsby is clearly the choice. So here's his rundown of highlights, getting all statted out and nerded out on it. 11-time WAR leader, either by league or by Major League Baseball. 5-time run leader, 4-time hit leader, 4-time doubles leader, 1-time triples leader, 2-time home run leader, 4-time RBI leader, I think famously he has that 5-year stretch where his cumulative batting average is 402, which has never been done besides him. He had 3 seasons above 400. 424 is kind of the modern, I think, post 1901 highest single season batting average. He did that in 24, so it's easy to remember 424 and 24. He also had 397 in 1921, falling just shy of 400, so he almost had another season. And then he had 3 other seasons at 380 or higher. So he had 7 seasons 380 or higher. There's only 9 players with more than 4 batting titles. So he is tied with 2 other players with 7, Rod Carew and Stan Musial. The only 3 players with more batting titles are Cobb, Wagner, and Tony Gwynn. He's one of 2 players to win 2 Triple Crowns. So the other being Ted Williams. So when you start to get into really, truly inner circle discussion, he's said to have a 23-year career, but really post-age about 34, 35, he really focused on managing. So I did some manipulation of statistics. He had 7 seasons. If you combine all the games played, it equals 150. So realistically, his 23-year career was more like 17, with still having an injury-shortened season and some other things in there. His OPS, he is one of 8 major league players with an OPS over 1,000. It was 1,010. He had a 175 career OPS plus. So what does his average season look like? 9.1 WAR, 358 average, second highest ever. 210 hits, 39 doubles, 12 triples, 22 homers, 114 RBIs. I don't know how you get more inner circle than that. So that's the stat deep dive on Rogers Hornsby. To me, I mean, he's got the highest of the highest peak, a ridiculous average of what a normal season would look like for him, a 9.1 WAR average per 162. Insanity. Yeah. So,
yeah, the one thing I did look up, and I saw a stat on this, I'm not sure if you saw it, Aaron, was on the he won the Triple Crown for in the 20s for the decade.
Yes.
In NL, which is crazy, right? Like that's insane to win it for an entire decade. And obviously he had those 5 years, which obviously helped, went a long way, right? But pretty incredible.
Very incredible. Yeah, he had the second most home runs in the 20s in baseball, only beaten by Ruth. And when I did my dive on Mel Ott, I was really fascinated. The National League had far lower home run totals. He was the first National Leaguer with 300 homers. So when you start to look at that, he kind of was the elite power hitter, even though the numbers don't look quite the same as the American League counterparts. So they looked a little more impressive for total number, but for dominance, he was right there.
The National League had to play in the Polo Grounds. That's
yeah. Very true. Yeah. I mean, well, between stadiums, ball, whatever other factors were in there, it's, there's definitely multiple factors, but yeah.
Well, so I guess when I referred to him as a B tier, I guess he's an A tier talent, more of a B tier collector, or collected player.
Hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His prices don't quite command what a Ruth and Cobb command, but talent-wise, you're not wrong. He is definitely up there. Way to make the argument.
Sold.
I only have one Hornsby in my collection. It is a 1931. Is that correct, Matt and Aaron? Blue ribbon.
Blue ribbon mold. I thought that was 30.
Is it 2
or 33?
What were you thinking, Matt?
I thought 32, but I could be wrong.
32? Okay. I couldn't, I'm blanking. I don't know if 30, 31, 32, it's in that realm.
I'm blanking off the top of my head, too. It'll be posted on the screen. But it is a early 1930s blue ribbon malt premium. Typically, these have the back. I believe Aaron and Matt, you each have one, if I'm not mistaken.
I do not. I'm very envious of your copy. I would love to have a copy just like yours.
Yeah. So then Aaron's, if it's not down below, you'll probably see it here soon. It has the backing to it that you typically find with those. So, but for the gentleman on the screen with me, we are going to do a fun, or everybody's favorite hobby game for Rogers Hornsby. So we're going to go, each of these guys picked out 10 cards with an 11th for a tiebreaker. They picked out 10 cards that they're going to show in each round, and we're going to, I'm going to be the judge, and we're going to see who has the best 10 for Rogers Hornsby. So for round 1, what did you guys show or bring to show?
Same time? Or, yeah. Okay, I'll go first. I like this one because they always talk about if you look at some of the stories on Hornsby, like super. I guess a lot of people not very popular in the league, right? So to see him smile in this photo, I just thought this was a really cool photo. And obviously, I know our good friend Jason loves these National Chickle cards. This is a 36 National Chickle, super affordable card for you're looking for like entry level Hornsby. You can get one raw for like $100. So this is a great, great image of him. So that was my number 10. His uncharacteristic smile. He doesn't really smile very often. If you look at a lot of his cards. We'll show some more later. You don't see many smiles in those. Trust me.
That's a very good point. And mine actually is probably the exact opposite. It's him more or less looking super serious and standing alone. And you may bring this out later. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that is pretty phenomenal for maybe more so what he's known as. Yours is the contrarian image, and mine's more like the traditional because he's standing alone. He's probably, if not managing, talking more than he should and make himself a bit of an outcast. So, Sporting News M1017. This is a 26-27 issue. His is actually December 2nd of 26. So, super fun issue.
Awesome. In spirit of playing to a friend, I'm going to give that round to Matt for playing up the Jason angle. I like both cards. They're both oversized. So, I mean, for our group, the card guys, both cards would qualify.
Yes.
But Jason does prefer the National Chickle style cards, so I'm going to give him the nod there for Matt. So, excellent. Round 2.
You want to go first this time, Aaron, or want to do like a snake draft here? Or?
Yeah, we can. We can switch it up here. I will go with still oversized. I'll keep it in the oversized family with a 1928 exhibits. I don't know what it is. This image just, I thought it was so just different, unique. It's almost what's on his Gaudi, but not quite. It is slightly different, but you guys know I'm such a sucker for stuff like the gloves. Matt always makes fun of me, like the shoes. I like it's all the details. His hat.
This didn't in my top 10, but I have one as well. This is the beat up one, Aaron. If you remember, got at Strongsville last year from Howard Chester. Yeah, we got a bunch of exhibits.
Absolutely.
Right? So yours is gorgeous. Mine is more of a card guy special for a few of us that like the rough and tumble cards. But they still qualify as cards, right?
No, we are all very much like-minded. Where grade has zero impact on coolness and awesomeness. It's rare. It's neat. I can't believe you have it kind of factor. So,
yes,
very cool.
All right, this is a later one. I think Aaron has this one as well. This is a Cubs pitcher pack from I think it's 31. Aaron, keep me honest here.
I'm pretty sure that one is, yeah.
But just a really cool. He's obviously really at this point, mid-30s. You can definitely tell. Just harder life back then, right? So you can just tell looking at his image of him, right? So it's sort of cool. Obviously, having the Cubs, I like that. So, because their logo was just awesome. Like the bear holding the bat, right? It's just, I don't know, it's just really cool. So I like this one. To get oversized black and white. I won't name Jason. I don't want to win the round because of that. Aaron definitely picked a great one. So just fun to show the cards, right? I appreciate having me on again, Kyle.
Oh, of course, no problem. And agreed, it is a lot of fun just to show the cards. That round, I am impartial to the exhibits, especially the action shot exhibits. So I'm going to give that round to Aaron. So we are all tied up 1-1. All
right.
I think coolest jersey image. I think Matt just showed it. Yeah, I was actually looking at that today, and I was like, that jersey.
That's what brought me in was the jersey, right? So
yeah, if I could find that for a Cooperstown collection kind of thing, I would buy that heartbeat.
If I weren't a Cleveland fan and I didn't have a sore spot for the Cubs, maybe the jersey would appeal to me more. But 2016 rubs me the wrong way.
Good to know for future reference if I've ever do this again.
Yeah. Ouch. Okay, got it. All right, Matt.
Yeah, so I got this idea to get this one from Aaron when I was trying to find an early. A lot of you guys know I'm doing early cards, so I picked up this one as a placeholder card. This is the W514. Yeah, W514, 1919, 1921. Misspelled his name. A lot of his cards, I wanted to make sure I at least pulled out one of the ones that historically, just like, it's kind of funny. I collect Spawn too, and his birthday is always the wrong year on half his stuff. Red Man, Bowman's, etc. Kind of remember 1921. There are so many cards with just Rogers, out of Rogers. I'm sure it drove him crazy if you actually saw it. I'm not sure people brought him cards this time, but I'm sure it would have drove me nuts, right? I don't know. So, want to at least have one. Obviously second baseman, early career, Cardinals. Strip card, not everyone likes these, but get another affordable option to get an early Rogers Hornsby card. So, that's my number 3.
Yeah, that one's sneaky tough too. That's of all the strip cards, other than I guess a couple that I might end up showing. That's one of the really tough ones, and tough to get clean like that. That's a nice one. I'm also going to go W, and that's an image that's on a million different cards. So I thought I would pick the W501. Reason being, it is, I want to say there's like 9 or 10 of these that exist, but very similar, kind of like the Roger factor. This lists him as an outfielder. So anytime you see kind of unique, sometimes he's a shortstop, sometimes he's second base, sometimes he's outfield, which is the most rare, I believe, of all his position listings for sure. But it also has little designation at the top, so you can tell it is truly from that set. It's got this unique little G422, which is in question as to what that even means. But that's such a classic image, I had to include at least one of those.
Yep. I got a few of those laying out here myself. Let's see if I show any of those.
Yeah.
All right, you're first this time, Aaron.
Well, hold on.
My bad, Kyle.
You're good. You guys both went strip cards, which is ironic given the episode that Aaron and I just recorded the other night for Road Less Traveled that will air next week. I love strip cards. I'm impartial to the real photo image ones. So that round I'm going to give to Aaron.
All right. Taking an early lead.
Yep, 2-1.
Rallying back, yeah.
So this is, let me pull out this other, I hate these holders. Let's see. Here we go. So Aaron just showed one, I think it's my turn, right? Aaron just showed one of these for Milot on his channel recently. If you haven't seen that on his channel, I definitely recommend looking at it. This is the ML die cuts. So Hornsby's on a few of these. He's got one, this is the one with Chicago, with the Cubs just across, not the fancy one. You can tell they kind of did low budget on these cards, but these are just really cool. I have a couple of these. I have another one for Vic Aldridge, just because the same surname as me, but that one of my friends gave me, Mr. 3D80s kid John. Trying to reference another name, see if that helps me. Just teasing. But anyway, I like these. They're just unique little oddball items, and I think right up our alley type of thing. You just don't see a ton of these out there, right? So someone has the one with Boston, but it's just super expensive on eBay, and I'm not paying $800 for one of these, but you get these pretty expensive.
Yeah, those are phenomenal. Those are like the 100 something kind of realm where you feel like you're stealing it. A couple $100, whatever. It's in that realm. I was also going completely different weird set, and I thought I'd bust out this guy, the big head on that. So this is such an interesting set because it's labeled as 16 to 20 on some, and then I think they just kind of updated and re-educated themselves that it's more of 18 to 20. So not really as rookie status as we might have hoped. Mine is listed as 18 to 20, so it was graded fairly recently. I picked this up at the LCS, which is insane. That's not an LCS worthy thing. I mean, he's like, Hornsby was good, right? I'm like, yeah, he was good, sure, yeah.
Peter, yeah.
yeah. He's not as good as some of those guys, but no Gil Hodges, but he's okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But
all right, well,
that one of the mix.
Is that MLB the die cut there? That's one of the first ever die cuts in the hobby, if I'm not mistaken.
I know there's one Matthewson that, like, I think Sammy and Rick have, like a 1910 or 12 or something like that for Matt. I can't remember the set. Maybe you know, Aaron, but yeah, that's one of the first ones for sure. Yes, I don't think there's a ton of them before that. So for that stat alone, or that status as being one of the earliest die cuts in the hobby, I'm going to give that win to Matt. So we're all let's keep it interesting, at least. That's good.
Very good. All right, me up, huh? My turn. All right. Well, if it's me, I'm going to go continue on the weird path. So I'm going to go Canadian. I don't know if you can pull out anything Canadian, Matt. But I thought I would go,
Nice.
Is this still 1922? So we're in his range of his 402 average for 5-year streak kind of thing. What was his Triple Crown years? Is 22
and 25, I believe, right?
and 25? Yeah, so 22 is a Triple Crown year. Another tough one. So Canadian issue, William Patterson. I like this set just because the images are so unique. At most, you'll see that image on 2 to 3 items for a certain player, but a lot of them, it's like the only time you see it. I don't know if that Hornsby is anywhere else in terms of image. So that's always a favorite for me.
All right. I only have one Canadian, and I think you know which one it is then, Aaron, right? So I'll go and do it just for fun, right? So I think we both have this one in the collection, right? So this is the Canadian version of the batter-ups from 34, 36. This is the OPG. So anyway, 37 OPG. 37. One of his last cards, obviously, right? So you get a little bit of the French on the back. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, long day. French on the back for those that are interested and can read that. I can't read any French, but it's cool to see it. I'm sure it translates well. But yeah, just a cool image. I like obviously the batter ups don't have all the little guys around that. I think it's just really neat. So I picked this one up recently. Actually, it was one of the ones I had prearranged for Strongsville to pick up. And
it lists him as a manager, I believe, right? That one says manager on the front.
Yep, manager of the Browns, exactly. Yep, you're 100% right.
Yeah, which is cool.
Which set was yours again, Aaron?
William Patterson.
Very scarce. That's a very scarce one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's
rare.
Yeah. For the scarcity, I got to give it to Aaron. Although that O-Pee-Chee is also not common.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I'm not sure where it falls on the road less traveled or not. Maybe it's semi-traveled road, but still, yeah, one you don't see every day.
I think it might qualify.
I think it qualifies. Yeah. I don't think it's as definitive as the W.M. Patterson, but I do think it qualifies. So, but I'm still going to give that one to Aaron for the definitive qualification of being a road less traveled type card. So,
all right,
back up to 3-2.
Yes. All right. All right. Is it? I'm losing track. It's Matt's turn. Okay.
Yep. Is it my turn? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. I probably screwed this up at some point, Aaron. I apologize if I did. All right. I think we'll see. I know another strip card. Aaron inspired this one. He had it. He picked it up, and I was obviously really enamored with it. So I was able to find a copy. I love this is the W575-2, so another W card.
Hold it the other. There. Oh. To your left.
Other way.
There we go.
Yeah, where the camera is, right? I should do that, right? That's be helpful. We're gonna get this one of these times, guys. Sorry about that, but yeah, I don't know. Just a really cool image. I like the way they have the name on the shoulder. Just I don't know. You don't see a ton of these either. I'm not sure where it falls on Road Less Traveled or not, but I didn't look up pop reports or anything for this one. But it's pretty tough, I think. It's gaining popularity. This set's pretty picking up quite a bit recently. So I was just glad to get one and put in the collection. Higher grade than I need. I'd love to downgrade if I could, but I wanted to grab one while I found it. So.
There is one on eBay right now that I may or may not be. Say it again?
Yeah, I was going to tell Matt we'll have to talk because there is one on eBay right now that's, legit, like a 1 or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's what I'll look at doing then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron.
Absolutely. All right. I will, man, you're going, I love that one. How did I not pull that? What's wrong with me? All right, I will get with this one because this shares an image with Willard's Chocolate, but it is from maybe my favorite set that's not really a set. I only have 2 from it, and I don't even know what the population of the entire checklist would be because they're just too impossible. But this is the 1927 Cuban premiums. So this is Cigarros, Trinidad, etc. But it's
awesome.
It's Hornsby. It's got our style of nibble out of it. But I have only seen one of these, and I'm holding it. I've never seen this available anywhere else. I'm sure there's 10 that exist, but none are graded. So pop report is impossible, and I literally haven't seen it. I've not seen it in auctions. I can't prove it exists except I'm holding it, so it's cool.
Wow. That's quite the piece. I've never seen that one either. So
I don't know if I've shared it on my channel even.
Well, there we go. World debut.
I probably haven't. Yeah, I'm just not that guy. I don't do reveals, so I'm very happy to. Here's my reveal. I just picked this up in the last year, so There we go.
Awesome. Well, spoiler alert for the upcoming episode of Road Less Traveled, but shout out to Mark's Dodgers cards. He may or may not have shared a card from the set that Matt just shared a card from. So in honor of him, I'm going to give the nod to Matt for the W575-2.
All right.
So
definitely qualifies.
Yeah, it definitely qualifies. Tied 3-3.
Take it. That's me.
Yep.
2, 3, 4. All right, we are good. This feels like a high pop classic at this point. So another youthful image, 1921. So the start of his 5-year run where he averaged 402. I think this year only he hit 397. So it was, a sub 400 average. He kind of dragged down the 5-year run there, but it's oversized. It's a youthful, pretty early career Hornsby. Mm-hmm. He started in 16. I'm not sure when that image is even from. So, and another one, it's fun because they just list him as an infielder. So I always feel like that's when he's not quite as established and known as, what he was going to be. So
right.
Infielder status, but 21 exhibits are pretty tough. So
that's an awesome one.
It's a great image, classic image for him.
Yeah. That big old bat.
Yeah.
Thing's a club.
All right. I will go with this one. This is one I picked up, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. This is the Block Brothers postcard.
Yep.
And so you can see my finger through there. Maybe there's 1, 2, 3 holes, one through his head, one tack hole through his head, a couple different sized hole punches, but it's a postcard back. Kyle doesn't think of it, but they had him down as the world's greatest hitter. So
yeah.
Just a cool image. About to hit something out the park, hopefully. But anyway, I picked this one up recently. Great price because I was able to find a copy that suits my collection. So
yeah, those holes definitely helped you on the price, but didn't take away from the eye appeal.
It got all facsimile signature too, which I like. So
agreed. Well, I was in that was one of the first bigger cards because that was in January or February, I thought you picked that up.
Maybe February, I think. Yeah, early February.
Yeah. So I had just joined the text group, not too much prior to that. So I remember that card fondly. So I'm going to give the nod to Matt that round because I was present when he picked it up.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I love that thing too.
I also love that card in general.
Yeah, I'm beyond jealous of that thing.
All right, so we're gonna go really funky. Pardon the holder. Is my first, I think, for this one?
Yep. Okay. It's 4-3. Which, by the way, I am not. This was not planned to be this close. This is just kind of playing out perfectly.
This one's, as my kids would say, fugly. This one's pretty bad, guys. This one's rough. This one didn't get a grade. I think they didn't hold it because they. It was so. Let's see the back. I'll turn around the back in a second. This is a 1923 elections. That's how you say it. I never thought I actually owned this one. I used to use PSA, so I still use it as a checklist. And this is the highest value item for Horns because there's just not a ton of them out there. There's 9 total graded between PSA and SGC. There's a few floating around. So this basically was given out to kids to play with, which is why there's so many holes in a lot of these. That's why we got ripped apart too. There was an election going on, and they gave these. They made a few different ones. Obviously, there's a Ruth, there's a Frank Frisch, there's a few other players out there in this set, but
there's a Frank Frisch. I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly. A few other big guys out there, but it's the only one I've actually seen that had the green elections writing on it. So there's all other Hornsbys that are graded I could find pictures of on VCP. All were red. So I just I'm sure I overpaid, but I just wanted to have a copy. So that one wasn't a steal by any means for sure, but happy to add it in the collection. Yep. Very rough condition, but
they all are pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, and I think one of the fun things of how we collect too is there's so few out there, it's worth almost what you're asking. So if nobody wants to buy it, that's okay, but you control the market because there might be one.
Yeah.
Well, and when you were picking that up, we talked about the price in the group chat, and it's really not that bad of a price at all. It was a there were comps, but they and you were right around where the future value of the previous comps would be at. So I think you did well on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I've been just happy to have it. Some of these things you got to grab them. Like Aaron always says, grab it if you see it. It's worth what you're willing to pay for it. And if you don't plan on selling, it doesn't really matter, right? So.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it'll be worth more in 40 years. So
yes,
someone else can worry about it.
Exactly. It'll be somebody else for sure in 40 years. It won't be me. Just a temporary steward for sure.
Yeah, that's the plan. We'll enjoy it for our time. I'm going to go also tough to find. Ooh. This is post playing days. That's the only oddball little knock on that if people are opposed to the post playing days status. But I did confirm because I was not remembering exactly how populated this exact item would be with the grading companies. So this is a 1964 Penafiel Hornsby. The back is the reason for the grade. So for anyone that does not like back damage, no worries. There's one other out there. You can go find that one. So this is one of two graded. PSA is none. SGC is 2. So
very valuable. Those are really tough to find. It. Yeah.
Well, and how do you value this? I bought this from one of our very reliable, friendly Venezuelan dealers on Facebook, and he listed on eBay. We kind of worked something out on Facebook, and I was like, what do you comp that at? He's like, I have no clue.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just kind of guessing. Does that seem fair? I'm like, sure. And then seeing some sales for a Gehrig or DiMaggio after,
sure.
I think I won pretty heavily on that one. So I'll take it.
That's awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, I was glad to get a Hornsby.
There we go. Well, I am not a post-playing days collector myself, so I knocked that one for points. I also, I have a special connection with that Elections card with Matt because he bought it a couple weeks ago on one day, and then ironically a Frank Frisch Elections popped up for me to buy the next day. You don't see Elections very often. For us to buy them in the same group back-to-back days was really funny.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the nod to the Swiss cheese Elections Hornsby.
Some kid had fun that election night for sure, and maybe years to come afterwards, maybe. Who knows?
Yep. Maybe he was counting the votes. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, because there's really not a whole lot of information on that card. It's not even known if those cards were related to the election or if it was a candy company that just distributed them in addition to what they gave out for the election cards for the adults. So, but anyways, Matt takes the 2-round lead at 5-3 late in the contest.
Oof. Hope I have something left to show here. Good golly.
I know you do.
Let's see what I can dig up from the piles here. I guess the last two are important for me here. I gotta rally. Well, this one I picked 1921, so that is the start of his 5-year run of dominance, really 10 years / entire career. But Oxford Confectionery, I think I've just been so fascinated with this entire set. I'm working on the Hall of Fame run. I never would have thought I would do that because Ruth seems like it's overwhelmingly impossible, but I think I've checked off all the other big ones. I've got some smaller ones to get, and I've got Ruth, which will be sell a car, sell a kidney. I don't know, something of that nature, but
you said kidney, not kid, right?
Yeah, kids are off limits, but they do have kidneys. So I didn't say my kidney; I said a kidney. So my kids might be willing to sacrifice. We'll see how that works out. But I think again, we always kind of go back to the images. It's funny. I think people are centering people. They're grade snobs, whatever else. I'm very much into image. So you can take a chunk off of it. You can round the corners. You can crease it in the right way. As long as the image is good, I'm thrilled. So this is another unique image, which unique images always do it for me. So that's my entrance for round 9.
There we go.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Matt, that's a big one.
It's a big one. So yeah, I'm going to put a throwaway up here probably, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So you see this image already. So that's already losing points. But this one's another one, kind of the little road less traveled. This is the standard biscuit from 1921. So I was looking through my collection, taking all these pictures. I don't have, the only caramel card I have is like one of his later caramel cards, the Rittenhouse, right? So I was like, oh, but I have this one, but it's a standard biscuit, so it's a D card from 1921. So tough. There's only 4 of these. The other 3 are all authentic. So technically it's the nicest one, but I know it still looks very, very rough, but it's perfect for me. So the same image. So I get Aaron's card's awesome. So.
Well, I thought that was going to be a dominant round for Aaron because I love the Oxford confectionery set. However, the standard biscuit I'm impartial to because Grover Hartley has a standard biscuit card from a few years earlier. And I picked that one up myself earlier last year. It was one of the last couple I needed for the run. So I do love standard biscuits, but I'm going to stick with the Oxford confectionery. That set is, I think, my favorite set from the 20s. I love the borderless card. It's like if someone took a W572 and cut it straight to the picture, but enlarged the card to make it a bigger picture. Just a beautiful, beautiful set. So I'm going to give that round to Aaron.
All right.
That's
drama ensued for the 10th and final round.
Yeah,
right.
that's questionable. I know what Matt's bringing. This is ridiculous.
That's just it. Do I save that for the bonus round?
Yeah. Do you bring in Rivera in the 8th when it's a tie game, or do you not? Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think I know what you're going to show too, that's why this was fun, right? Because we didn't know what each other has, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a couple guys on yours, but we'll see. I don't want to tease it. But I'm going to throw it out there anyway, and I'll play like what I planned to show, right? So this is, again, thanks to Aaron, right? He's the one that found this, said, hey, if you want to go for it, go for it. So this is the Felix Mendelssohn M101-6. Really cool image, obviously. My earliest one for him, I think it's 18 or 19. Depends on where you look, but they labeled, I think it's 17 through 20, but I think it's somewhere in that 18-ish range. So not Collins McCarthy, not Boston Store, unfortunately, but really cool early image of him fielding as well. Got some nice shoes on for Aaron. I know he enjoys those, so I'm teasing him.
I love that.
I love how they actually folded the arm. Tell it's very much posed, right? They folded the St. Louis logo on the sleeve. Just like you said, Aaron's taught me to look more at the images. I think that I used to always look, and now that's all I see. I don't see any of the flaws. All I see is like the picture of the player, right, or the action shot, right? So, So thanks to Aaron for that.
I love that.
And a few dollars. That was more than dozens of dollars, unfortunately.
That was way more than dozens of dollars. If it was dozens of dollars, I'd be showing that one today, but I'm not. So, yeah, that was a big one, and I think that's one of the best things that we do is when you find something, if you already have it, you reach out to somebody, and if it's something that you would even want that you just can't for at the moment, you find someone and say like this has to be in someone's collection. This this belongs with you. So
that's why I like our group so much.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a close circle than it is just a collection of collectors. So yeah, you're right. You're going to see a couple people here. I guess I should really put them in the order I acquired them. So Strongsville, this auction was going on Strongsville of 25, and I was obsessed. I said, this is an auction. This never comes up. I thought there was like 3 or 4 of them. I've since learned there's probably more like 10 that exist in the world. This is the Cuban issue again. So our friend Phil comes through and says, I actually have 2 of them. I'm like, what are the odds of that? He said, would you like one? I said, of course. So I picked up a second one from Phil. And then I don't know what the Strongsville tradition is, but there was one in auction. And I said, if that goes reasonably, yes, I'm a psychopath. I will take all 3. So I now have 3 of the 1926 shaking hands image at the World Series of Babe Ruth and Rogers Hornsby, which oddly enough, that was like the end of his Cardinals run. He's dominant, World Series bound, and they're like, yeah, but your attitude's pretty bad, so off you go. So it's
well, and I think he missed his mom. His mom was like at her deathbed, and he stayed in the World Series instead of going home to be with his mother too, which is interesting. So, like you said, some interest. What do you say? Precarious lifestyle or whatever.
Yeah,
interesting life. Just some of these guys lead that are like so into the game. That's all they can think about, right? So, just like Cobb. To me, he and Cobb are so similar. Like they're just so focused on their craft, and that was it. Everything else was just like noise.
And Ted Williams.
Yeah.
Yep.
really. It's the greats all seem to have that in common.
And they can't manage because like no one else cares as much as they do about what they're doing. That's the problem, right? So even their teammates are frustrating because they're like, why don't you care more? Why are you trying as hard as I am? So
right, why aren't you
part of the issue?
70? Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Yeah, unique problems to have.
Unplanned, but I do think we're going to have an overtime,
right.
extra innings, because that you break out a Babe Ruth card with Hornsby. And then you break out 3 of them.
3, yeah.
That's going to warrant some bonus points there. So,
all right,
all right. So for this one, I want to do same time show the card.
Okay.
And then Matt, I'll have you talk first, and then Aaron, you can talk about your card second.
All right. I'm gonna go with the. All right. I'll tease it then.
Yeah. Does it have to be a card?
Yeah.
All right. We'll go. We'll go. I'll let you disqualify me if I'm cheating. It's fine.
A piece.
All right. Yeah.
So,
an item a piece. I'm good. All right. We'll play. Right. We'll see what happens.
Right. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right. Yeah. I gotta go with Cashin. So,
okay.
Another one of our in our text group, obviously, there's a few guys. Like I know JT is obviously going heavy after these. Aaron's got most of them as well, right? Of the Hall of Famers, that is, right, from this set.
Yeah, that short print's killing me, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously Jason is partial to these as well, right? So I thought, throw out a Cashin. I didn't show a Butterfinger, which I wanted to pull out as well, but it's a great image as well. But at least show the swinging pose. Got Conlon photo. Obviously, it's not as nice as the bigger one. Was it W554? The bigger version of these?
Yeah.
But that's the one I have. So, and a nice lowly too, which is perfect for me.
Perfect. Excellent. Mine is completely different, off the rails. So, a lot of players, I will collect autographs when I can. I never expected to be able to find a Rogers Hornsby, especially one that was somehow sliding through an affordable. I actually signed this thing in pencil. And I like these when they're not on cards. I like them when they're on like cut images or something of that nature. This thing actually has like notebook paper on the back. So, I mean, that was literally just in somebody's page. They even cut out his name really funky at the bottom. So the keepsake aspect of it is cool, but just to have a authenticated Hornsby autograph, to me that's something I'll never get a second of in my collection because I think they're impossible. I thought that was going to go for dozens of hundreds of dollars more than it did. So the fact I was able to snag it was super cool.
That's awesome.
Both great pieces. We have our first inaugural champion of Rogers Hornsby Showcase Showdown. And that is Mr. Matt, the Card Story. For
thank you.
Breaking
very
out
close.
yes, very, very close. Breaking out the cash-in at the end. I'm impartial to that set as well. I don't collect it as heavily as Aaron or Jason or JT or yourself, but I do love that set. Love that image. And that actually just reminded me that there's a W554 Ruth that's ending here in 9 minutes. That
you sent us out the door. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyways, both of you, thank you very much for showing your Rogers Hornsby collections. When this class was completed, obviously it became a which one of you wants to do it, and then just both of you do it type of thing, because it's you guys have just incredible Hornsby collections. So and I contributed for one. So
you have a nice one though. Thanks for having us on. That was fun.
Yes.
That was a cool one.
So excellent. Well, that is it for the class of 1942. Tons of ways to collect Rogers Hornsby. You saw all sorts of different items for him. Aaron even brought out a post-career, which actually does not appear too often on my channel. So that was a unique way to collect Rogers Hornsby. But yes, he's a really great player. Relatively affordable if you base him on his talent, but ultimately a wild character and a Hall of Famer nonetheless. So until next time, until the next class, live free, dream big.